What's good, YouTube? I'm going to be talking a little bit, and by talking, I mean complaining a little bit about the Silent Hill 2 remake, and kind of just the culture of remakes in general. Sorry, I'm recording this on my Vita, and I'm using my computer screen as a as a light. So it looks like shit, but whatever. And it might sound like shit too. Who cares? Um, yeah. Essentially, I've been looking at videos and screenshots and trailers and cutscenes and gameplay and watching. Vinny Vinesauce is currently playing through the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I haven't watched that much of it. Um, but I have spent a little bit of time going through the full cutscene compilations from the remake, and I've been taking the time to replay Silent Hill 3 because that's my favorite one, and I've also watched a couple of the cutscenes from Silent Hill 2, and it's really cemented my opinion that um, this shit is so fucking annoying. Everything about the discourse around the remake is so fucking annoying. Um, and it feels like uh, there's people who the game has gotten good review scores, and of course, bloober team fucking bloober team has a reputation of making shit, and so people were very skeptical of the remake, rightfully so in my opinion. Um, and everything that I've seen, the Silent Hill 2 remake feels less like a remake of Silent Hill 2 and feels more like just another Bloober Team game. It's, Unreal Engine 5. It looks like shit. I don't understand how anyone can look at that, what it is, and not be incredibly put off by its art style. It falls into this really unfortunate um, area where they're going for hyper realism with everything, right? But the character models are just not in the faces, especially. They're just not able to carry the performances um, well enough to not make it look wooden and stiff. It looks worse in a lot of areas than the original, especially in terms of the emotion that the characters have on their face when they're in cutscenes, especially in those pre-rendered cutscenes. Um, and the other big issue I have with it, especially with regards to the acting, is that it feels like the direction just completely. I don't know if they missed a lot of details or if they intentionally wanted to change the vibe and kind of rework some stuff, but I don't understand why they would be so faithful in the recreation of some aspects of it, like the layout of the town. And I know that they've added new stuff to this. I know there's new buildings, there's new puzzles, and all of that shit, right? Um, but the parts of the game that are from the original, especially in like the geometry and the layouts, they're all very very faithfully recreated. In this hyper realistic Unreal Engine metahuman style, right? Um, and yeah, they've taken a lot of like drastic changes to the characters themselves. Maria, especially, feels like a completely different character. Um, if you sit down and watch the cutscene in the labyrinth when you meet her behind the bars, I think that's probably one of the most famous like scenes from that game, even amongst those who haven't played either version, right? Um, where she's like sitting there and she has this really dramatic like lighting, and it's like you can't see her eyes, and it's super high contrast, so her skin is like pure white, and her eyes are just in this pure black shadow. Um, and it's this really evocative image. And the remake uh, just completely fucks it. Not even in that, like, oh, they changed it, and this is a precious thing that must never be changed. If they did something interesting, or if they changed it in a way that brought out some new angle that was interesting, or even if they changed it in a way to make the original intents more effective with their new technology, it would all be fine. I don't think they should be, completely beholden to the original. They shouldn't be pre-rendering, shit in an ancient version of 3ds Max, right? It would completely defeat the purpose. But they are making changes, and all of the changes are worse. And the budget that they have for facial animations and the time that they've had to put this together just does not reach the standard set by how good I don't want to say how good, how photorealistic all of the rendering techniques are. And how much more realistically proportioned the characters are, especially when you look at someone like Eddie in the remake. He looks so absurd, but not in like the original intended way, where he's like just this absurd kind of funny guy, right? It's more like it looks like someone wearing an Eddie costume, right? It's they have like very faithfully recreated the whole outfit with the hat and his haircut, but they model him so realistically, and the disconnect between the super realistic, man face and like proportions and hands and everything, with this super cartoony, like, I don't even know what you call the way that he's dressed. It creates this mismatch of like his super photorealistic head and face and proportions and everything with this super cartoony and silly outfit that he's wearing, and it just looks like a guy wearing Eddie cosplay at a convention or something. And it takes me out of, I can't believe that that's a real person that I should like empathize with, or be afraid of, or whatever. I guess my final note is that they added all of this stuff to the game, right? There's new puzzles and everything, but they took out the line where James says to Eddie in Neely's bar, "This town is full of monsters. How can you just sit there and eat pizza?" They removed that line. That's iconic. And yet there's like new endings and shit. I don't fucking know, man. I think that Silent Hill 2 remake is lame and bad, and Bloober Team still sucks. I feel particularly vindicated by how bad the Silent Hill 2 remake has turned out, but utterly confused at the reception that it is receiving from a lot of people. IGN gave it like an 8 or 9 out of 10, and it doesn't fucking matter, but it's just so, I feel like an insane person. I don't know. I don't understand what anybody sees in that. What is it like about anything in that product that is appealing? Because I don't see anything. I think it sucks. And if you like it, I'm sorry, but maybe you should, I don't know, play Neptunia instead.